Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of A Healthy Dose of Fran. Today, Percy Jackson returns in a video looking at the latest series, The Trials of Apollo, but particularly the book The Burning Maze and the end of the relationship between Jason and Piper, much to everyone's surprise and devastation. But you guys are probably not going to like me in this video because today I will be talking about how the ending of Jason and Piper's relationship was a good thing. Yeah, I'm coming out with a lot of controversial videos at the moment that a lot of people are probably not going to be happy with, but I like to stir the pot sometimes. So yes, I will be talking about how the ending of Piper and Jason's relationship in The Burning Maze was a good thing and really did make sense. Now, I've done a few videos like these, especially about The Burning Maze with Jason's death and how that also made sense. Now, for some reason, the Trials of Apollo series has gotten a lot of hate and anger from the fandom. Some for justifiable reasons, but others for small little petty things, where even Uncle Rick has been receiving some hate from some fans, which is never a thing to do, guys. I know this is a little PSC thing here going on, but the fandom has disappointed me at moments currently, especially with the Trials of Apollo series, where people have been messaging Rick angrily about what's happened to Jason, what's happened in the latest books, and basically everything to do with Trials of Apollo, and it's all a lot of hate. So before you guys come at me like you have been coming at Rick, just listen and read the books again and you'll understand the reason why these things happen and why it does make sense. Now, for Jason and Piper's relationship, this was something that I was never particularly a fan of in the first place because of the instantness of that relationship. With Percy and Annabeth, we had the building of a friendship and a relationship over 5 books, whereas Jason and Piper, it's literally the first chapter that we are introduced to the possibility of a relationship, and a relationship already there and already created. Although, as it turns out, it was completely fake. It wasn't a real relationship. It was set up both by Hera, Aphrodite, and in a sense Piper herself, because of the prospects and possibilities of romance. Then over the books they continue to build that relationship and build a sort of love between them, and it develops over time. But the relationship as a whole was created and developed under stressful periods of time over only a few months really, and amid war. Now, this is something that I say a lot about writing, where relationships started and created within a war and dramatised setting, more often than not are not going to work out, because that relationship has been built on something that you are both dealing with in a high stress situation where at any moment one of you could die. And so when that suddenly disappears, like it does after Heroes of Olympus in a sense, when things quiet down, you suddenly have to get used to being in a normal world, in a normal life. And to go from that high stress situation to a very low stress real life, it's going to change the dynamics of a relationship. And when we look at both Piper and Jason, when they go to their normal lives are incredibly different. Jason is the perfect Roman soldier and the perfect Roman boy. He does things to the letter. While he does have his moments of, sticking it to the status quo, he is still a soldier. He is still someone who is all about rules and following things and doing things the way they should be done. And he is definitely, especially in terms of his map and wanting to set up these temples and things like that, he's very goal focused, which means it takes up a lot of his time. Whereas Piper is more of a free spirit. She is someone who enjoys life as best she can, who wants to live life to its fullest. And straight away we can see the clash of that personality relationship. And we even hear it from Piper herself, not particularly to do with their personality, but also just about the relationship as a whole. Piper believes that she needs to be able to find herself, find out who she is. This relationship really wasn't started with her consent, in a sense, with it being set up by the mist and then being made out to be fake and then being built on false memories and the high stress situation that they were in. She doesn't know who she is outside of war. She doesn't know who she is in this new life that she is living. And she doesn't know who she is without Jason. And so she wants to explore that because they are very different people. And so that's why, at least in one of those cases, she ends the relationship. There's also the fact that the two of them aren't the best at communication. In The Lost Hero and in The Burning Maze as well, the two of them often kept things from each other. And kind of actually throughout the whole Heroes of Olympus series, we see them keeping secrets or keeping things separate from each other. Sometimes it was done for the right reasons, other times it wasn't. And that's kind of not the way you can start a relationship, especially one that is slowly developing. Keeping things from each other, keeping someone in the dark of something that is usually pretty important, isn't going to help a relationship build. There's going to be a lack of trust between them. And that was one of the reasons also that Piper does break up their relationship. After they've gone into the maze, she knows that Jason saw something, but he adamantly denies it, refusing to tell her what happened. Which just leads to another reason why she knows that this relationship isn't going to work. Because if he can't be honest with her, how can he be honest with their relationship? And vice versa as well, because Piper has done the same in the past also. And so seeing that dynamic and kind of just as a whole, I think this is something that I loved about the breakup. And it's really weird to say that you love a breakup. But this is something that I've always hated about romance novels, or even just kind of any story where there are romances with people who are very young. No one, at least in modern day, really ever stays with their first love. In some cases it can work. Percy and Annabeth, for example, they have slowly developed that relationship. It's been developing over a long period of time, so it would make sense for them to stay together for the long haul. Maybe even Frank and Hazel also, although in that case I'd also be happy if maybe in future they broke up and went on to have other relationships. But either way, they've also had that over time real development. But to have stories where you meet one person, you fall in love, and that's it, you're done for life, that is the person you're with forever, isn't the most realistic thing. So to have an actual breakup in this series, where in the last one in Heroes of Olympus, every single person was coupled up, which to this day I'm still annoyed about, but it's happened, I'll move on. To have a relationship actually end in this series not only was shocking, because that never happens in series like this, but I was also grateful, because imagine the message that it's sending, that it's okay to not stay with your first love. It's okay that relationships do end. It's okay that maybe you don't want to be in this relationship anymore, either for yourself or because the relationship isn't working. This is a brilliant message that Rick has done really well with in the Trials of Apollo. The Tyrant's Tomb, obviously not going to talk too much about that, has other examples like this. And so with Jason and Piper's breakup, it just shows that yes, relationships can last forever, but not every relationship does. And I think that's why I think the ending of Jason and Piper's relationship does make sense. It was a relationship fraught from war. It was based on false memories on Piper's part, and she still has those memories, which I think is something people forget. She has those false memories and she knows they're fake. So if anything, she's probably thinking, how do I know that these feelings are genuine if they're also based on false memories? Then we have the fact that they would keep things from each other. And then finally, as a whole, not every relationship is meant to last. And not every relationship does. And in this case, with Jason and Piper, the relationship wasn't meant to last. But what do you guys think? How did you feel about the ending of Jason and Piper's relationship in The Burning Maze? Were you a fan of it or not really? Whatever the case, let me know in the comment section down below. Before I sign off, I want to give a huge thank you to today's artist of this thumbnail, Markieth. Markieth is a fantastic artist and does some brilliant Percy Jackson art. All of his social media links are in the description box down below, so go check out his art, go support him, and to Markieth, thank you so very much for allowing me to use this art. In general though, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. And if you go to the description box down below, you find the links to all of my social media, my merchandise store, and my Patreon. If you guys want more Percy Jackson content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.